So,
yeah, so you ain't waiting for the Shawn Spears Chris Jericho feud?
My God. Wow. Hell no, man. Okay, so outside of that, oh shit, I really was.
You want to see Nick Gage?
Bruh.
Nick Gage got you?
Man. My gosh, bruh. That is a trash rate. It's not a good show, nigga. Outside. We talk so much about what we like, what we don't like, what WWE's doing bad, logic and all that shit, nigga. And these niggas is like, yeah. Jericho and Shawn Spears, bruh.
Hey, we gotta understand this. This company has been around for what, 3 years, right?
Yeah,
or almost 3 years.
Yeah, almost 3 years, man.
But with that being said, and I'm glad that I didn't tune in live because I'm not sure if I would have stayed either. But did you watch anything else?
Yes.
Okay.
The Painmaker is back.
Why you keep talking about Chris Jericho? The Painmaker is back.
That nigga put on some makeup and think he gonna be a different performer.
Outrage this week with the Karrion Kross situation. He debuted on Monday Night Raw and he lost to Jeff Hardy by getting rolled up into a schoolboy, and Jeff Hardy used the ropes to pin him. So he cheated, you know? And people flipped the fuck out.
Bro, y'all niggas going in for Karrion, my nigga? For Karrion Kross,
who everybody's kind of been clowning it. From NXT, Finn talking shit to him, Adam Cole talking shit to him, you know, Johnny Gargano's talking shit to him, the fans have been talking shit to him, and then they come and put him on the main roster, and he loses the match. What the fuck you expect? You know, like, I mean, I think we get caught up in the hype sometimes as smart marks or people who watch wrestling, who are hardcore wrestling fans, that we think we know what's best for the company long term, and we say they don't create new stars, when we are looking at every person that we see right now is created by WWE. Roman Reigns was just in the Hobbs and Shaw movie. Is he not a star? Sasha Banks was in The Mandalorian. Is she not a star? Bianca Belair just won at the ESPYs with Sasha Banks. Are they not stars? So when I almost I get kind of confused with the cognitive dissonance with the fans when they say they don't know this is why they're burying NXT and they don't make stars with Karrion Kross thing, because it doesn't make sense to me. Because Karrion just started like last year.
Is NXT.
The whole roster's NXT.
The whole roster's NXT. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we can talk about, okay, well, Seth and Big E were before NXT was what NXT. Nah.
They're WWE products.
They're WWE products that was from the umbrella of NXT.
Yeah.
They went through, and listen, let's keep it a whole buck.
Let's keep it a buck.
Big E, Bianca Belair, had zero wrestling experience before coming to that fucking place.
I'll say this about Sasha. She definitely had wrestling.
Bianca.
Oh, Bianca? Oh, yeah.
Big E and Bianca.
Big E and Bianca, for real, yeah.
Big E and Bianca.
Yeah, Bianca's at the top of the mountain, and Big E has a Money in the Bank briefcase on his way to becoming a champion one day.
So for y'all niggas to say that Vince hates NXT or Vince doesn't get NXT or whatever the case may be, man, listen.
I laughed when Karrion lost because I thought that shit was fucking genius, man. Because here's what I see with Karrion Kross. I always say, like, he's a guy who has a potential to be a Batista because he can talk on the mic. He's a big dude and he can move a little bit, and he's a power guy. You know, he's a power guy. So when you're talking about Karrion Kross in NXT, in a whole slew of people who are smaller guys, I think Vince sees him. He's like, oh, I can use this guy. He comes off as credible, as somebody who's a threat. You know, he comes off to a guy to people who are not smart marks, who are not hardcore wrestling fans, who are just watching wrestling on a whim. They can see Karrion Kross and say, oh, I don't want to fight that guy immediately. Now, as for his wrestling prowess and him getting over is the next step. They put him on main event without Scarlett. Got no reaction. They put him. Well, they didn't have fans at the time, right?
I do.
No, they didn't have fans. So, but at least with Jeff Hardy, he came out there. He got no reaction without Scarlett. I believe they're testing him in the waters to see how he can go out there on his own and see if he gets a reaction. And when you guys look at it, NXT doesn't get the ratings of a Raw or SmackDown. You got to realize there's millions of people that don't watch NXT. There's millions of people. So when you start on the main roster, we say, quote unquote, you have to build that up. If you're not a Kevin Owens, then you're not going to get that shot unless they really believe you got the full package. And I don't believe anybody thought Karrion Kross is the full package. And what's cool about this is that we now have an angle that could lead to somewhere with Jeff Hardy, who's a former world champion. So when Karrion comes back and destroys Jeff Hardy, which they should do, and
which I think will happen. And I think that is how you build Karrion Kross
as a threat. He's then established as a main event player, or at least somebody who can hold the Intercontinental Championship, a mid-carder, until he gets there one day. You can't have everybody in NXT use their cachet and immediately go, oh, they're going to beat Roman Reigns.
Because who the fuck cares about NXT? Like, let's be honest. Like,
I care about NXT.
I know you care about NXT, and I'm pretty sure that, I'm going to keep it a buck, right? Do NFL players respect and know that Alabama is a fucking minor league and the people that they're going to play on Sunday came from the people that's going to play on Saturday? Of course they do. Do they know that, nigga, you got to get up here and get this grown man strength before I even think about you? Yeah. So, look at it in the sports aspect. Like,
we were just chilling with Dez, and he said, the main roster is more theatric and NXT is more wrestling based. And if you look at it from that standpoint, it makes perfect sense. NXT is for the hardcore wrestling fan that wants great matches, great wrestling, and WWE has a formula that works for getting mainstream attention. That is over the pageantry and the larger than life shit. So when you taking the mindset of watching NXT as a different show and you're taking it to the main roster, just change your mindset because you're gonna expect a different product. So that's why I always talk about, as wrestling fans, know what you want from wrestling and know what they're giving you too, because you're not going to get the same product that you get on AEW, NXT, MLW, SmackDown. They're going to be different television shows. So start from that basis, and then you'll be able to be like, all right.
No, all wrestling must be the same. All wrestling must be strong style, strong style, strong style.
And if you're looking for that, you're always going to be upset. If you're like, hey, if you're an NJPW fan, Go watch NJPW and then just don't talk shit about the other products because you're not going to get that same wrestling elsewhere. Karrion Kross is going to be fine. And whether he loses or wins, he's going to be a star down the line because he has the tools and the look to make it. He can talk on the mic, he's good. And he got an opportunity on the main roster. So once he drops this to Samoa Joe, things are going to be, everybody's freaking out for no reason. Even Bully Ray is like, talking shit. Like, I'm like, dude, you wrestled. You know this shit. Like, come on.
I tweeted this.
Is mine?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I tweeted, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, lost his MLW debut to Teddy Hart. Do anybody give a fuck? Do anybody even remember that fucking man? Oh, let me guess. MLW, like, who cares? Bruh, American Dragon in 2000, I don't know, 2002, 2003, 2004, like, nigga, best wrestler in the world, losing to Teddy fucking Hart?
It's real to me, damn it!
I mean, yeah, it's not real enough, clearly. But, you know what I mean? But
it's like they pick and choose what they want to get angry about. And we do it too. I'm not going to say that we're like high, holier than thou. I do it all the time where, I'll sit here and talk about zombies all the time because I hated it. But people loved it. People said they liked the shenanigans. I guess. And I guess that's shenanigans, I can't get mad that you guys like that shit.
Nigga asks you, what do you like in wrestling? And niggas like, I like shenanigans. So clearly niggas like the zombies.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, yeah, you gotta like that shit.
That goes back, so let's continue our business and logic conversation, right? Rolling Loud happened last night, and WWE literally got new thousands of eyeballs on a product.
Yeah. People know what WWE is, but to then see it at a concert,
listen,
and then see a whole match and the presentation of it on a stage. I don't think I've seen wrestling on a stage.
I'm gonna tell you this: the fans who know of wrestling that was at Rolling Loud was like, where's Bobby Shmurda?
They thought they were. They thought they were hallucinating. They were
I would have fucking watched wrestling. I came to see the City Girls, nigga. Where is JT? You know what I mean? But to keep it honest, like WWE just did something that, like you say, everybody's not gonna like. Everybody's not gonna be quote unquote receptive to.
But who gives a fuck?
But who gives a fuck?
You gonna see my shit. Let's like us. You're gonna see us. We ain't going nowhere. Reason for us to gonna be around. So whether you like us or hate us, you're gonna see it. WWE did a great business move. I gotta give them 100% to that. Who would have thought 3.5 years ago when we started this podcast, or when, we thought that Arena Wrestling, Rolling Loud was gonna have SmackDown on it. That's crazy. We just said we're gonna smoke and talk wrestling, So props to WWE for knowing a business opportunity where there is one to increase your audience, to ingratiate the culture, to they got the right acts over there. Street Profits, Bianca, Belair, they know who Carmella, they know who to put out there in front of people. Those I gotta be there next year. I wasn't there this year, I was busy, but I gotta be there next year. So if they continue this, I think it will be a great business move to continue doing this. Now, AEW, I'm not sure if they're trying to do festivals too. I'm not sure if they're different, but this, as far as marketing wise, cross promotion wise, I would have never thought WWE would have done this before. And I just want to tip my cap to that, because this provides an avenue for even Matt Riddle to go there with the championship next year or something like that.
Get out of here.
Yeah, Matt Riddle at Rolling Loud with the WWE championship. And if this is a throwback a year from now, you'll know here first that I said it. But you get to, this is the first time I'm seeing them take the weed culture and put it forefront. You got Michael Cole talking about ASAP Rocky and saying all these names. Like, I've never seen this in wrestling before. So me, as a black wrestling fan who watched a white product for years, I'm talking about years, I watched where it's like, oh, there's these white guys wrestling. It'd be cool to see somebody like me up there. I get to see Bobby Lashley as champion. I get to see Bianca Belair as champion. I get to see Apollo doing a Nigerian, act there. Then you guys go and take that Street Profits, one of my favorite tag teams in the world, put him in Rolling Loud and with Bianca. It's incredible, that we're seeing the evolution of the business. It's not just pro wrestling, and it doesn't have to. In some places like AEW or MLW can be just pro wrestling, and it still could work, But with WWE is their global brand. It's not just wrestling at this point, and I think it's very important to notice that when you're watching it. So some people might understand it, some people might not, but I thought they did a fantastic job of rolling out. And then in the middle of SmackDown, they showed it, and then went back to the show for the main event. It was great.
And to be honest, WWE has dipped their toe into the water before with this. Hey, let me see if this cultural diversity thing really kind of.
How? When?
Well, Wale was at the when NXT moved to USA.
He performed.
He brought out Street Profits.
Okay.
We were there. Well, it was a while ago.
No, we were there. What it is that I don't look at that as them dipping their toe in the water.
Well, I mean, I'm using that because listen, Wale was there and Poppy was there. Yeah. So I'm saying like, for people who don't watch wrestling but love Wale, for Wale to tweet and be like, yo, I'm gonna be on this, and bitches be like, oh, let me go see Wale. You know what I mean? For Poppy to be like, I'm gonna be on, but that's them trying to see how this kind of thing works.
Yeah, WWE is a place where I think artists can go to, kind of like SNL, and get a performance or get a bag and just whether it's just performing or whether it's interest music or whatever it may be.
But look at that.
It's a way to make an extra buck.
The reason why they did this, I want to congratulate Bad Bunny. I don't think Bad Bunny having the influence that he has because he is hip hop, doing the song with Booker T, and then also him sitting in the fucking room with JayZ and telling him how big fucking wrestling is. There's no way that wrestling's like capitalize. Capitalize.
I'll tell you right
Cap
now.
lock, nigga, like,
I
nigga,
was
like,
there in that office, and I see Bad Bunny talking to JayZ. I'm like, also, we need to get in those rooms. We need to, you know, talk to these people.
Oh,
you know?
we need to be able to make sure that when Hove hears wrestling, it's not a laughing matter anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, you still watch wrestling? That was the biggest thing in my life.
Yeah.
And JayZ is intrigued because, all right, the biggest thing in your life was something that I see as a joke. You know what I mean? So tell me more about this. And then that's when WWE goes and like, nah, nigga, you a businessman? Well, we're a business corporation as well. Like, this is how we do it.
I think that they were shooting their shot at JayZ a long time ago to do something with John Cena.
Was it John Cena?
Yeah, at WrestleMania. At least that was a rumor. And I believe that he turned that shit down because it was whack. Because he looked at WWE from a certain angle. But like you say, people coming into WWE, I think Wale, I give him more credit than anybody ingratiating the culture. Because without WWE, he created Wale Mania. We were there. That was the first time I felt like, oh, I belong here. You know, like I feel like because when I'm in a whole fan about going to shows, it's like, all right, cool. But feel like it's in my essence where I feel like I'm doing my thing and there's wrestling here, there's hip hop. It made me feel at home. And then he made wrestling cool for hip hop. Then Westside Gunn and then them coming to the arena, being front row all the time. They weren't afraid to be like, yeah, we're wrestling fans and we get this money and we talk real shit, we spit real shit, you know. So those guys, I feel like are pioneers.
Yeah, it wasn't fucking Machine Gun Kelly. Nigga, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is not powerbombing Westside Gunn.
No. That's true.
Hold on. If that happens,
I wonder would Westside Gunn?
Wes, would you take a powerbomb from Kevin Owens?
Would you take a powerbomb from Kevin Owens? Would you get in the ring ever? And you know, would you consider getting in the ring? That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. That'd be
like talking full circle. We talk about seeing shit representation, right? When you see Diddy at WrestleMania, I'm coming home. I'm coming. He's not doing all about the Benjamins. You feel me? Like,
you gotta like. We know the music that we listen to, right?
Exactly.
We know the people that we listen to.
So for Rolling Loud to then be in corporation or in collaboration with WWE,
it's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like.
Maybe not to most people, but to people like us.
Nigga, do Michael Cole know Rolling Loud is this?
He has to, of course.
I mean,
but he didn't sound like it.
He did not know that Rolling Loud was that packed, nigga. Was that packed.
But if we can build this over time, that relationship with Rolling Loud, and shout out to Rolling Loud for just building that festival from nowhere over time, growing it to the point where you can say, you know what?
Bro, y'all got national television exposure.
National television exposure. It's huge, you know, and just getting eyes, like you say, across promotion, getting eyes on wrestling, getting eyes on Rolling Loud. People are now, you're in the zeitgeist, you're in their mind, you're in their you know, their field of understanding of, even if it's, hey, that they did something where there was an excellent concept, you know, one time. It's better than they have no idea who you guys are. So I thought all in all this week, or when it came to wrestling, it was good for me, and that capped off my week. Honestly, seeing that, that was the most excited I was probably the whole week, except for Biggie winning Money in the Bank.
Much elated when it comes to Biggie winning the Money in the Bank, and also we were fucking surprised that Nikki Cross won Money in the Bank. You feel
I was
me?
definitely thrown off with the Nikki Cross one, especially the way she did it. She just kind of climbed the ladder while everybody was fighting and just took it, which to me is a smart thing to do. like we haven't seen that kind of victory, so you know, shout out to Nikki Cross because she put together a pitch for a gimmick that she thought could get over, and obviously this is a business, like you always say. Sell merchandise, get over, something that people can, you know, grab and hold on to. Now, me as the hardcore wrestling fan, whatever, smart mark, whatever you want to say, I love the Nikki Cross and from Sanity.
Yes.
That was the name of the group?
Sanity.
Sanity.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Nikki Cross and Sanity, and what she did with Asuka showed me a potential for Nikki Cross to be a kind of like a Mick Foley-ish in the women's division. Not like she has to go that far, but I'm not sure if she's willing to take those bumps and all that stuff and go hardcore and blade and all that. She's not do all that, but for the women's division, I feel like they need an element of an aggressive character, and she could have been that deranged, just unpredictable character, and I love that version of her. But they didn't really grab onto that side of her. They attached her to Alexa Bliss. Next thing you know, she's obscure. So Nikki did need to be repackaged. I'm not gonna lie, she did. She did need to be. It could have been going more hardcore. It could have been going to something like this with Nikki ASH, but she won. And I was shocked. And I think that they see potential in making money with her. Not only is it a wholesome gimmick, but this is still a family show. And I think they kind of book Raw like the family show. They kind of book SmackDown like the more mature show. And that's why we hate Raw so much if you're, 25 to 30-year-old man. But Nikki ASH, I'm not mad at it. After the week of thinking about it, I'm like, I'm not mad at it. I think that the women's division on Raw needed a spark, and if this is it, then go for it.
I would like to say that
could be worse options.
Yeah, I would say that when it comes to, like I was saying, I believe I was saying that talking to wrestlers and going to events with an idea, or going to events. Confidently with an idea, and he will give you the opportunity to sink or swim with it. That's from what I have been told. So I can't wait to see how they progress with this. We had a live on IG, literally, and said that if Nikki Cross is the hero to a Charlotte Flair's villain, then this makes for compelling television. And when we talk about Raw is made for a more broader audience.
Yeah,
right.
It's definitely is.
It's made for a more broader audience. Like, bruh,
I think Raw is more family oriented.
Yes.
It's definitely like where we want a little bit more heat, we get that on SmackDown or NXT. Raw to me is where you'll see, them try some things with Alexa Bliss, try some things out with, the Supernatural, but not go too far with it. You have a certain leash. With Nikki Cross, her Nikki ASH character, I believe. I thought what the thing about this, I would say, I didn't expect them to put the title on her immediately. I expected her to get the act over first, and then them do it. But I don't, like you said, with her and Charlotte needed something, because her and Rhea have been doing this thing since WrestleMania, and they needed to change it up. So I'm all for it. With Charlotte chasing the title, it could have been Nikki chasing, but she had a Money in the Bank briefcase, so why not just have her cash it in and have Charlotte chase?
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to transition to something else, but what?
Oh, I was going to say, with Nikki cashing in and Charlotte, it gives, like you said, the division something that it did not have. Diversity. You know what I mean? And also, it just pushes the envelope just a little bit to the side so we can move some other things in. You know what I mean? Goldberg came back.
Yeah.
Keith Lee came back. We look like we're going to have Sheamus and Damian Priest. You know what I mean? Like, there are a lot of moving pieces with Raw. They're like, okay, let's stabilize something that was unstable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Nikki Cross as champion, we feel like we got a lot more heels we can throw at a superhero. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Than have babies chase
we're gonna have
the queen.
The Nia, Shayna Baszler. I think they kind of hamstrung the division with the Rhea Ripley Charlotte thing. But going into SummerSlam, going into SummerSlam, I believe it's probably going to be Charlotte and Rhea and Nikki in a triple threat or something like that. I don't think they're going to be completely just going to not use Rhea Ripley.
No, I think she's to the side.
Nah, I think they're going to keep pushing it. Because I think that they genuinely see stuff in her. I do too. I think Rhea's great. But at this point, her reign was, you know, it was lackluster to say the least. It still needed some more energy to it.
So why would you?
But the match was great at Money in the Bank. The match.
Yes, it was. But at the same time,
you would put her on the bench a little bit, or do something else.
I'll just give her. I'll put her on not on the bench. I'll just have her do something else. Again, okay. I'm looking at it right now. Right.
Because SummerSlam's coming right around the corner, and if you've been building this new star, because you see potential her as a star, why wouldn't you put her at SummerSlam?
Because she's not hot, nigga, and I ain't got time for that shit. The fuck you talking about, nigga? The fuck, nigga?
I'm not hot.
Nigga, she, you know what I mean? Like,
yo, I mean, I feel you, but
not hot.
Yeah, so you think it would be just Nikki and one-on-one with Charlotte?
I mean, I would. You got 4 weeks, so my thing is 4 weeks gives you enough time to make Rhea do something else. It gives you 4 weeks that is not a shock or a fucking abruption of not seeing Rhea because she has something else that she can't be doing. Also,
they took Naomi to SmackDown, so they got Asuka still. They got, you know, Rhea and the undercard Shayna. So there's plenty of women that she can link up with and start something with.
I'm pretty sure that my thing is like I don't want to make this a big thing about Rhea for the simple fact that this is. Listen, if Rhea was their girl, they would have kept the title on Rhea. Like you know what I mean? Like just point blank. Period on that, like a stop on that for me. You know what I mean? So like if they wanted Rhea to be the person that we're talking about for SummerSlam, they would have just forced it on us and we just would have had to accept it. Yeah. Like we've seen that before. You know what I mean? So no, they're like, let's switch it up. You feel me? So,
no, I'm getting bogged down with the Rhea, so I'm gonna be honest. But no, it was just thinking because I didn't consider I really didn't consider her not being in the match. Because the way they present her, but we'll see how it plays out. And if she's, I do see her being at SummerSlam though. You know, I think that's what.
Yeah, she'll be at SummerSlam, but like, listen, if Rhea didn't want the title to be on Nikki, and she wanted to continue the feud with Charlotte, she would have broke up the logically. Yeah, but you know we're not talking about.
You're not talking about logic right now. I'm talking about Raw. No.
Yeah, because speaking of logically, Keith Lee comes back and you fucking get. This is the second time Keith Lee done had a big match to be in the World Championship or for the World Championship, and then Goldberg comes out.
The second time. This happened to him before?
Drew McIntyre.
And then Goldberg came out?
He lost to Drew McIntyre on Raw, and then fucking Goldberg came out right after that and told Drew he didn't know nothing about respect. And I'm like,
yeah, they just step right over Keith Lee's body
all the time.
That's what they need to have. If you want to do a match, Keith Lee should just take out Goldberg and turn heel. Like just take like every time.
Is it heel though?
No, I don't know. Or
shit, Keith gonna be the biggest baby face in the motherfucking world. What you talking about?
Nah, you're right. But in the eyes of non-logical Raw booking. But I feel you. That stuck out to me like a sore thumb. I hit you up. I was like, yo. He got squashed by Bobby, and then Goldberg came out.
Oh, not a squash.
I thought it would look like a squash to me because it looked like to me that they were trying to establish Bobby as like nobody's a threat to this guy, and they did. You know.
Not even the limitless Keith Lee because guess what you've been doing. On the sideline, it makes sense.
You've been limited, but you've also been limiting this limitless guy. That's why you're trying to call him that anymore.
I don't think. Okay, let's stop here.
Okay.
Let's stop right on this subject.
All right.
I don't think they limited Keith Lee because I also think that we talked about it. We saw Keith Lee as a world champion, as a star, but when they were projecting Drew. They also put Drew in this same stratosphere as Bobby is right now. If we go back and watch that Drew run,
as you should with the champion. That you're still building in the first reign.
Exactly.
So they've had Drew, they've had Bobby in their first reigns, establishing them. It's not Keith's time.
It's not Keith's time.
It's not Keith's time.
That's
what it is.
That's the big.
Yeah.
Right when we talk about conversation and not complaining.
Yeah.
We can complain and have our gripes, but have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It stuck out to me, and I was like, oh, okay, because we've been talking about SummerSlam.
Yes.
What are potential matchups?
Yes.
And we kept saying Keith Lee if they don't got Brock, and that's what you were saying about because we didn't want this fucking Goldberg match. So now we're getting Goldberg. You happy? Exactly. So it's not his time, but it's Goldberg's time. So but here's what I'll say to that. Goldberg got a reaction again.
Just like Cena got a reaction.
These guys who are old stars in WWE, they are like characters in a TV show. If you take a character off a TV show that people loved, and then you bring them back, they're gonna watch that episode. Oh my God, this so and so's coming back. I gotta watch it. Whether it would be in a soap opera, which I relate WWE to, or whether it's a cartoon even. They have characters that go and then you come back and then this is a great episode. That's what they book these legacy acts as. So Goldberg coming back, getting eyeballs on the product, great. Commercial-wise, it makes sense. For us hardcore wrestling fans, for us guys who want to watch NXT and all this stuff, I'm like, damn, you want to see Bobby Lashley in the best match that we know is possible, or maybe it's not possible right now. It's not a SummerSlam match to me. It's more like a somewhere in the middle.
I don't think that Bobby and Goldberg is SummerSlam worthy either. I don't. I can tell you this. Goldberg, we realize that the internet is not the entire wrestling community. Right? So, we look at John Cena coming back. I'm pretty sure that nigga merch is off the fucking shelves right now. You feel me? And it's pretty much.
I think they had that same shirt before too.
And it's bought for niggas who's not.
It's still gonna buy it.
It's bought for niggas who are not on the internet. And if they are, they ain't using Twitter because they need a parental guidance. Yeah, I mean, so.
Yeah.
When we're talking about this Goldberg thing as well, is probably not even for the younger fans. We're talking about a nostalgia guy. You know what I mean? And if
does Bobby have to win?
I mean,
obviously subjective, but
I mean, no, but have to because we know that Goldberg can take the title off someone, but he didn't lose to Drew. So I will say give Bobby that same respect. If you want Goldberg to come make a guy, you know what I mean? Because Goldberg also wrestled Drew in a match that didn't have fans and shit like that.
Yeah.
When we talk about contractual obligations, Goldberg probably is under contract. He has WWE wants to honor the contract.
Yeah.
This is the match to have in front of fans, whatever.
Yeah.
So, and I look at it on the back end too. We look at Roman on SmackDown. We just saw it last night.
Goldberg has to lose, man. I'm just gonna say that, and I know where you're going with. I get it. The marquee name, SummerSlam. He has the contract dates. Goldberg has to lose, bro. It doesn't make any sense. So if you, like you said, give him the same, courtesy as you gave Drew, because those are your future. That's your future.
Yeah.
Just have it happen, and hopefully between now and then, y'all can do some cool shit with them in the shows to build that.
I think honestly, realistically, let's look at both of them. We look at Cena, we look at Goldberg. There's no in their world. There's no way in the world Cena's being Roman, right? We called it. And again, do we want to see the match of Roman and Cena?
I would rather see that at this point.
I mean, yeah.
What I care about with the Cena Roman thing is the build to it. That's what I'm at. Because at this point in Roman's career, and Cena, being who Cena is, the build to it is what I'm more interested in.
So we here with this now, right? I see last night, Cena gives the same promo. The same exact promo.
But then Roman called it out.
I'm live tweeting it like, yo, if you like this shit, you like can't be over 8 to 12, nigga. Like, yeah, people want to combat me like, oh, the crowd is going crazy, and I'm like, bro,
it's Cena. That's why.
Exactly, but don't nobody give a fuck about Cena and Roman.
They're only going wild because he has not been there. He's back. He's a main event star. That he was the marquee guy for. They almost programmed to go wild.
A decade and a half.
Yeah, we're programmed to go wild for Cena. So that's what they're gonna get on TV. The promo was the same. You're right. But what I like about that, Roman came out and called it out, and then he got a pop when he said, "Yo, like it's like missionary all over and over again." That is what we want to see, the build.
And I think people gotta go back and watch, like, yes, Cena gave Roman the business in 2016, but look at yourself from 4 years ago and look at where you are now. Not just our audience. Look at who you was in 2016 and look at, can anybody talk to you the same way that they did?
No.
And do you even want a nigga to try and talk to you like a nigga tried to talk to you 4 years ago?
Absolutely not.
So put that in context of what Roman's at, like, nigga, I'm be on you. Nigga, I don't.
And that's what makes
and as a fan,
yeah.
like, nigga, I'm with you, bro.
Yeah.
Give me you and Finn.
Yeah.
I'll take that all day. You feel me? Like, reject Cena, waste his fucking time, don't give him a match, send that bitch ass back on the tour, nigga. That's how I book it. That's how I book that shit.
That's awesome, though.
Avoid that nigga at all costs. Because for what?
I think but that's the thing. They're going to give us Cena and Roman at SummerSlam. But by the time they get there, you're going to want to see them fight. And that's what the key is. It's like, you're going to want to see that match because you want to see what's going to happen. And with Finn and Roman, absolutely, we already know it's going to be a fire match. But the storytelling that builds to it is not going to mean as much as a Roman Cena match. You know, as far as the build to what it could be, given the two legacies of these two men, and where Roman has now pinnacle, like reached his peak as a performer.
I would say
because you know, freaking Cena had to break the fourth wall in that promo, and say, listen, you've been cutting a promo, you didn't learn how to cut a promo pretty much, because he was coming out there, he was like, you can tell there was no script. Roman was on the spot, and then he fired him up to call him. Then that's when Roman got fired up and said, yo, you're a fake ass bitch. You know, and that's what Cena was trying to pull out of him. And now Roman's out there killing it, and he's just authentically himself. He's beyond Cena. And I believe that this build to SummerSlam is going to be interesting. It should be the most interesting angle in wrestling if you do it right. In wrestling. But obviously just people have their opinion. But given these guys' legacy, what they can do as far as the storytelling wise, because WWE is the storytelling kind of like company, this should matter, you know.
I will say this: it should matter when it comes to putting a stamp on a passport. You feel me? Like, this shouldn't be a premier destination for Roman. You know what I mean? Like,
I think this is where Roman solidifies himself as
this will be the torch passing.
Yeah, the real torch passing.
Like, this will be the real life. Like, nigga, I've been gone, and
he did it during a pandemic. I'm not sure Cena can do a pandemic. Maybe he could because he can do.
But even keeping it a buck too, Roman was gone during a pandemic too.
But like, he came back during.
He came back during, yes.
Yeah,
he came back during,
like earlier on.
But he missed.
Like, he was like 4 months or maybe 3 months.
No, he missed, initially it was supposed to be Roman and Goldberg at Mania, and he missed Mania. And then he came back, and it was Braun and Bray, and we had that. And then from then on, I think from the beginning of this year, right? No, last year.
Was it at SummerSlam last year when he came back with Braun and Bray?
So it's been a whole whole calendar year. Collectively.
Yeah, I guess you.
So he missed probably like you said the first 6 months of the pandemic.
6 months.
So he held it down. Like, the pandemic was, and he was must see TV. He was what we went to SmackDown for. So Yeah, this would be the torch passing. Like
if Cena didn't leave, and obviously he's a huge box office star, he's got